Hello, it's Jimmy, and welcome to Season 5 of Fighter Jet Showdown. It's Episode 1, and to start off, we have two very good crafts facing off against each other. The Akiramoto Sky Dragon from Rich the Wolf, and the AX-23 Arrow from Jim and Saw. As we can see here, the Sky Dragon's just a very nice looking plane. It's got the straight intakes, nice air brake, and just forward swept wings. It's looking really amazing. Team of 3 has some AIM 120s, AMRAMs and some Sidewinders on the side. Two Vulcans for guns. It's going to be a very powerful craft. I can't wait to see how it competes. The AX-23 Arrow has these nice NMB engines going on here. And just overall is a great looking plane. I'm excited to see how these two face off against each other. So without further ado, let's get this party started. As we can see, the Sky Dragons are getting into the air much quicker than the Arrows, but hopefully the Arrows' agility will be able to make up for the lack of speed in taking off. The Sky Dragons are very quick, as they have two Saturn engines, and while the Arrows, they have 3 engines, they have overall a lower TWR. So as we approach 8 kilometers, we switch back to our command pod, so as to avoid any conflicts with radar findings or whatever. It's just to keep things fair. And it's also a great view to see who gets missiles off first. And any second now, competition's starting, and it looks like the Arrows are immediately getting missiles off, using the great NMB cockpit to fire at any angle. Seems like they have 6 missiles going towards the enemy, whereas the Sky Dragons have 3. Let's see how this initial battle, this initial volley goes. And it seems like no hits across the board. Sky Dragon's launching some more missiles down, and now they close into more of a gun range. This should be a very interesting battle, as both are very competent dogfighters in my testing. So once they get past this missile stage, it should be very interesting. But the Sky Dragon's doing quite a flip here, and been taken out by a missile. Oh wow, that was very quick. Hopefully this isn't a huge deal, but because it's a 3v3, losing one teammate isn't nearly as bad as losing a teammate in a 2v2. So the Sky Dragons might be able to turn this around, but as it's spinning out with a missile coming towards it, this is not looking good for the Sky Dragons. Popping chaff and flares all over the place, but hopefully they can pull through, and who knows, maybe we'll have an interesting dogfight. Sky Dragon launching another Sidewinder out at the Arrows, but the Arrows are equipped with flares, and have much less heat-giving engines, so they are much less susceptible to Sidewinders. Oh, it looks like a Sky Dragon is lighting up an Arrow here. Let's see how this goes down. Arrow taking some hits, but not at all damaged, so that's very good. And it looks like another Arrow. It's got a Sky Dragon on its tail, but it's turned the tables. Will the Sky Dragon be lit up? Who knows? Doesn't seem like it will be. Another Sky Dragon coming along, running up an Arrow. Had to tab out for a second. But the Arrow is also shooting at another Sky Dragon. This is quite a chain going on here. Oh, he's turning around and is fighting another guy. Gunfire everywhere in every direction. This is quite an interesting dogfight. Oh, so close. Gunfire in every direction. This is so hard to keep track of. But indeed leads to much more strategy. Whereas I think one of the Sky Dragons is functionally dead. It is still high up in the air, serving as nothing else but an AI decoy for later in the battle. Oh. Did a Sky Dragon just get... No, I think an Arrow had a wingtip taken off. I can't tell which one it was, but this is a 3v2. This is going to be a very interesting fight. Will the Sky Dragons be able to turn around and win? Who knows? Getting lit up from 2 angles. The Sky Dragon has. Let's see. This is going to be very close. Arrows don't seem to be very efficient at aiming their guns, and I did have to put an ammo box in them, which I really wish I didn't have to do. but these planes were just so good that I couldn't leave them without ammo. So just keep that in mind when submitting planes, that you add an ammo box. Looks like the arrow is really sticking to the Sky Dragon's tail, even though this... Oh, never mind! Oh, what a turn of events! The Sky Dragon's flipped around on the arrow. This is quite the super maneuverability. I didn't even see it turn around. We'll see how this turns out. But this has been a very long battle, but it seems like both crafts are very fueled, so they shouldn't have any trouble. Very, very close calls there from the arrow. This is a three-man chain going on here. And it seems the Sky Dragon is spiraling, and the arrow's on its tail now. Now it has 2 arrows on the tail of the Sky Dragon. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Sky Dragon doing. Another flip around. That's quite an amazing maneuver there. Arrow slipping around once again, getting on the tail of the Sky Dragon. But the Sky Dragon will probably do its same flip around maneuver. Oh, I didn't see it, but an arrow's just gone out. Gone out in a flame there. Getting some lag from the pieces. Once again though, so this is now functionally a 2v2. This Sky Dragon seems like it's going straight for the ground, so not lasting much longer. But the Sky Dragons have managed to take it down to a 2v2. Will they be able to pull this off from odds against their favor? Who knows? Very close calls, but the arrow just narrowly manages to escape the Sky Dragon's fire. Sky Dragons, as you can see, have room for 8 missiles, but or even 10 missiles, but have been nerfed down to 4 for this competition in order to keep it within the limits. And it seems the Sky Dragons just really have a tough time getting fire. Oh, never mind. This arrow losing quite a bit of parts there. It's not looking good for the end. Getting lit up once again. It seems that this arrow has indeed gone down. This leaves a 1v2 for against the arrows. Who knows how they'll fend off. Oh, I see what this arrow lost her rudder before and has now lost its entire back section to the plane. And almost gets rammed by the Sky Dragon, just as an insult to injury there. Its engine is still intact and it can still fly, but I do not think he is long for this world. As you can see, he's taking fire from all sides. This battle is pretty much called. Once the Sky Dragons can get in one more shot, this plane will be all but dead. There we go. Alright. Well, that is it. The Sky Dragons are moving on to the next round. Alright, for this second battle, we have a very interesting combination. The small versus the large. The single engine versus the pentiple engine? I honestly don't know what to call it, but Edgy's F502 Enforcer is equipped with 5 Saturn engines. This thing is going to be incredibly fast, if not a Sidewinder magnet. It's equipped with 4 HEVK missiles and 2 GAU-8s. This thing is going to be quite a fierce firepower if it can avoid the Sidewinders that come its way. And against it is going to be the Kdf Dragonfly by Draconiator. Sorry if I mispronounced that. It's a very, very small plane equipped with 1 Panther engine. A very interesting choice as to why not a Saturn engine. But as you can see, each one has 4 Sidewinders. I lost my train of thought there. And it has 2 GAU-8s. No, two Vulcan cannons right here. Interesting choice of placement on the AI, as were the arrows from last battle. But this plane, I feel like, even with its underpowered engine, will be quite powerful. Either way, let's get these into the air, and well, I think we can guess which one is going to take off first. And just like that, the Enforcers are skyrocketing into the air. With 5 Saturn engines, these planes are going to be very, very powerful and very fast indeed. As you can see, these things are already almost supersonic, as they can pretty much super cruise. Man, this is going to be quite the battle. The Dragonflies are staying really low, whereas the Enforcers are really high. I wonder why that is. I wonder if that's some sort of advantage they get. But that's definitely an AI setting, and the setting must be set to pretty low. Either way, the competition should be starting any second now. I said should be. There we go. And let's see who gets off missiles first. It seems like no one has fired any missiles yet. This is actually quite new. Alright, there we go. The Dragonfly is shooting off their first round of Sidewinders pretty much simultaneously. That's quite an amazing feat. And let's see how the Enforcers can deal with their worst enemy. Even though they have a massive array of, I think, what, 16 chaff? They're launching off their HEVK missiles, which can track for a very long time and are quite an advantage. We have no idea how these Dragonflies. That one's getting really close to the ground. Hopefully it won't hit. Another Sidewinder coming in. No Enforcers have been downed by Sidewinders yet. So, ooh, just like that, a Dragonfly taken out by an HEVK missile. Quite rare actually, as they don't have very good aim. But it must be the lack of maneuverability on these, but they do fly really close to the ground. I wonder what's up with that. Seems like another Dragonfly is taking fire from the Enforcer. The Enforcer is really a beast of a plane. Well, hopefully these nimble little Dragonflies can whip themselves around and pull some fire on the very big Enforcers that they're up against. This is quite an amazing shot here, as the two Enforcers light up this one Dragonfly. Seems like one of the Enforcers is sticking behind as the other one lights it up. But either way, it seems like he's doing pretty fine, even though he's really small. That one Panther engine can push him really fast. I would be amazed to see how fast this thing can go on a Saturn engine. Seems like it is using its maneuverability to flip around now, but I should check in on the second battle going on over here with the other Dragonfly. It seems to be fine, but it has lost a rudder. Hopefully I don't want to affect its flight too much. Seems there's two very different battles going on right now, and the winner of this one, or the winner of one of them, will be heading over to the winner of the other. So this could either be a 3v1 or a 2v2. Could be very interesting to see, but it's not looking very good for the Dragonflies right now, unless he can flip around. But no, Dragonfly number 2 is down. With that, this Enforcer seems to have broken off. I don't know why. It's not a very smart move on the part of the Enforcer, but this could be the Dragonfly's one opportunity. Never mind. It seems I've missed the last kill, but ooh, this guy is still popping out a fight. He might only have one wing, but he is still fighting. What a shot that is right there. He still has a Sidewinder left, and it seems that he has gone into a flat spin. So maybe if he can... Oh! With that, an Enforcer has just been downed by an out-of-control single-winged Dragonfly. If this Dragonfly can manage to pull off a win, I will honestly be very amazed. The other two Enforcers are heading in at insanely high speeds, launching off HEVK missiles. And this Dragonfly is bouncing off the ground, but still holding on to life. Unlike the arrows, when they die, they sort of just flopped into the ground. These planes are holding on to life with all their might, and just that last pop of flares from the Enforcer saved it once again from the last Sidewinder. I am absolutely amazed. I'm just going to keep this going because I feel like even though they're taking fire, maybe they can pull something off and flip around and get some shots off. They seem to really have wounded an Enforcer over here. It's still flying, but there was a big ol' explosion, so it's not lasting very long. Man, this is quite an interesting battle going on here. If this guy can flip around and get some fire on, I have no idea how this is going to end up. He isn't in nosedive, though, and unless he can pull out of this... Oh, he made it out! He made it out! I am honestly amazed. This thing... This 3 Enforcers going after it. There's almost some friendly fire going on. I don't know if I should call it or if I should leave it, because he's just running at this point. I don't think he's going to make any more bullets off, even though they do have infinite ammo. If they get hit one more time, I'm just going to call it. I know he's not going to turn around and fight because he does have an HEVK missile somewhat tracking. So who knows what's going to happen there. But every time you think it's going to hit the ground or the water, except maybe he just pulls up last second. This thing will not die. The plane that refused to die. Alright, I'm going to call it here because this is just going to go on forever, so see you in the next battle. It's time for Battle 3. If you can't already tell, I've installed a post-processing mod to make this look even better than it did. If you don't like it, be sure to let me know, but I think it looks great. So, going up against each other, we have the Raven-class Interceptor coming to me from Siphon Razor. As you can see, it's a pretty neat-looking fighter. It's got enough guns and enough missiles to get the job done. Sporting one Panther engine, which is a little bit sketchy. Actually, no, that's a lie. It has one Panther engine and two Juno engines. I never noticed that before. And up against it is the Kerbin Fighter Diamond from BR60066. This is a dual Panther jet fighter, coming along with pretty much the same armaments, all sidewinders. No need for radar here. But it's overall a great looking fighter. So without further ado, let's get these into the air. And it seems I've forgotten to to turn one of the Kerbin fighters on, so let me just get that right back. Alright, and with the planes finally in position, we think we are ready to start this for real. Just like that, all the planes are heading off. It seems like the Kerbin Fighter Diamonds are taking a big lead over the Raven-class Interceptors to start, probably due to their much lower TWR. This isn't looking very good so far, but hopefully they'll be able to pull something off, and hopefully this isn't just a quick fight. We've run a good streak of two very good fights going on here. Hopefully we can keep this up. The Raven classes are getting some height though, and hopefully they will be able to turn around in time. I'm just going to switch back to the pod before this starts, that way we can see who gets the missiles off first, and as to not give anyone a distinct advantage. Any second now this should be turning around, and there we go. Let's see who can get the missiles off first. And it looks like the Kerbin fighters have got... Oh, actually, that's a pretty close tie there to see who gets their missiles off first. And let's see if we have any hits on the first run. No hits across the board. We have the Raven-class Interceptors launching off some more missiles. They seem to be quite nimble for their low TWR, so hopefully they'll be able to put up some good dogfights once they get into closer range. Firing off another Sidewinder at the twin Panther jet. Sidewinders aren't super effective against Panthers, but hey, they're still Sidewinders. They still look at heat. And with that, this gunfire coming in from the Kerbin fighter, and the Raven class is down. Two Raven classes are down. Wait. No, there's one Raven class Interceptor left. This isn't looking very good. With the two corpses spiraling into the ground, this looks like it's going to be a quick fight. But this Raven class could turn it around if he can just spin upside down. And looking at this now, I am not liking the post-processing mod, so I think I'm going to remove it after this match. Getting stripped apart piece by piece by the Kerbin fighter. This is not looking good. Where's my mouse gone? There it is. And with that, the Kerbin fighters seem to have won. We've got two on the ground here, and this one flipping out into the ground. Yup, it's done for. Alright, well that was pretty quick. I'm just going to go ahead and remove this post-processing mod. If you really think it adds to the graphics, you can let me know and I'll put it back, but I honestly think it's fine as is. So yeah, it is time for the last quarterfinal. We've got once again, two very good planes going against each other. The SF-7K from Luminous and the Type 25 Broken Arrow from Litz, also known as the Blizzard. Both are very good looking planes. I don't know why, but I love the stealthy look that this has going on, with 4 engines, 2 of them being Airplane Plus engines, having a nice looking Mark II cockpit, just overall being a great looking plane. going up against the Type 25 Broken Arrow, a single-engined plane using a Panther. This thing is going to be slow, but it's going to be nimble. Using B9 wings, this thing can whip around like crazy. So let's switch to the pod and get these things in the air. And I don't know why it's on its side, but what I can tell you is that I'm very glad that I got rid of the post-processing mod, because things just look so much cleaner now. And of course, the quad-engine plane is just rocketing into the air, as you would expect with the Type 25 Broken Arrow, taking its time, but you know, it takes time to do things well. So hopefully these guys can put up a good fight, and I have no issue seeing that they will be able to do so. And considering this thing is going for a stealthy look, it's not really going to help, as the Broken Arrows have all sidewinders. So you really got to keep that in mind when designing stealthy planes. So we are approaching the 8-kilometer range now, so we should flip up to see who can get their missiles off first. And competition has started. Let's see if the Broken Arrows can whip around like it says, but no. It seems as if the SF-7Ks have gotten off their missiles beforehand. Broken Arrows popping chaff like crazy. Let's see if they can dodge this first volley. First missile is gone. And it seems like the next two have missed as well. Alright, it's time to get into gunfighting range, but no, it seems like the SF-7Ks are launching off more missiles. They are coming in at a breakneck speed, well over the speed of sound. This could be an issue. Oh, Broken Arrow getting nailed in the face by a missile there. This is not looking good, as it's now a 2v3 with the... Oh god, they could just come flying by, and it seems like another Broken Arrow is about to get lit up. But he does manage to evade. Let's see where its friend is. Alright, they are both doing pretty well. Flipping around, hopefully able to get some shots off. You know, for how light they are, it really sucks that they're not more maneuverable, because these I can foresee these guys being very powerful, but no. Getting slammed in the face with another missile. I feel like the choice of using B9 wings here wasn't the best, because they just don't provide enough lift to go well, and with that, the last Broken Arrow is taken out, engine clipped off. Seems like the SF-7K has just had a much... Well, I was just seeing how this last one's gonna go. Seems like they're just much more maneuverable and fast compared to the Broken Arrows, but overall, a great stand against an overall great fighter. So it's time to go to the semifinals, and the SF-7Ks will see you there in the second round. It's semifinal time. Going up against each other, we have the Akiramoto Sky Dragon versus the Enforcer. Two very good planes that have proven themselves to be good in the past. We have Rich the Wolf's Akiramoto Sky Dragon versus Edgy's F502 Enforcer. Can't speak right now. Alright, I think we should set them straight into the air, because this is going to be quite the battle. As we can see, the 5 engines on the Enforcer push the heavy plane really fast and quite far ahead of the Sky Dragon. These planes are very competitive, so it's going to be great to see how these two teams can fight against each other. Hopefully it's going to be a great battle. We have the Enforcers just launching straight into the air, getting a great height advantage. I'm pretty sure the Sky Dragons do something similar as well, but doing some great maneuvers here. That's a good screenshot if you ever want one. Anyways, we switch back to the pod as we near our 8 kilometers, so as to not give any team an advantage when it comes to locking on the radars at first. And we will see who gets their volley off first. We've seen in the past that the Sky Dragons can do pretty well in turning around and getting the missiles off, but so can the Enforcers. And who will get the missiles off first? It seems like these Sky Dragons do indeed get their missiles off, as they have the NMB cockpits they can fire at pretty much any angle. 3 missiles coming in from each side. Or actually 2 missiles coming in from the Enforcer side. Let's see how these first volleys go. Flares popping from both sides. It's going to be interesting to see if any of these hit, but so far it seems like nothing's going to make contact. Ooh! And a Sky Dragon has been hit by a Sidewinder, 2 Sidewinders for that matter. This is not looking good for the Sky Dragons, but they've pulled back from a 2v3 before, if I remember correctly. I might have my planes mixed up on that front. But maybe the Sky Dragons won't be able to pull this around. This will be quite an interesting battle to see what they can do. As we know, the Enforcers are great energy fighters with their 5 Saturn engines. These things can pull some impressive maneuvers, but we've also seen the Sky Dragon flip around on a dime when being chased on its tail. These Sky Dragons are going very fast right now, so maybe they'll be able to do some fancy maneuvering. But I mean, you always gotta look out for the one that's not looking so good, because they can turn around and make a great comeback. But there is a Sidewinder coming in for this Sky Dragon, but he does manage to avoid it. It seems like there are 2 separate battles going on right now. One over here with this Sky Dragon and this Enforcer, and then the 2v1 over there. So quite some interesting strategy from the AI, and it does look like there's fire going into one of these Sky Dragons. Or no, one of the Enforcers is firing at the second Sky Dragon right now. And it does not look like he can fend it off, unless he can do some impressive maneuvers like we've seen happen in the past. He does have a missile on his tail, because I'm pretty sure the Enforcers have the HEVK missiles, which make the AI freak out, so it's quite a strategy. And this fire coming in from 3 different angles on this Sky Dragon. It is not looking good, but you never know. Will he manage to flip it around, or will he succumb to the fire? No, he does seem to be flipping around. Heading straight towards this Enforcer. He's lighting him up. What's gonna happen? And it seems like they're both peeling away. Quite a disappointing turn of events there. I was hoping to see some good fire. Oh, and the Sky Dragon is going to get lit up. Or not. Oh! The Sky Dragon pulling quite the maneuver, but is now on a flat spin. Will he recover? He seems like he will. This Enforcer now maybe taking fire, but no, it does seem like he is. This Enforcer back here is putting down fire. Or not. Where was that? This Enforcer's getting lit up. Never mind. But he also pulls quite a fast maneuver, but has a flame out on one of the 5 engines, so loses some control there. He is in a flat spin. Will he be able to pull out before this Sky Dragon lights him up? Seems like the Sky Dragon is ignoring him, even though he is very vulnerable. Man, this is quite a tense battle, even though it was a 2v3. Very impressive on the Sky Dragons. But the Enforcers, they are some pretty good planes as well, so I am not doubting their ability. Enforcer slipping around, getting ready to light up a Sky Dragon. Will he manage to pull it off this time? The 2 GAU-8s are incredibly powerful guns if they can land fire. And looks like he is switching to another HEVK missile. This will definitely distract the Sky Dragon. And looks like a Sky Dragon is getting lit up. Yes, the Sky Dragon has been lit up indeed. I was not cheering, I was simply saying yes, my prediction was correct. Oh, and rammed! What an ungentlemanly maneuver there from the Enforcer. But still, a great maneuver indeed. He's definitely bearing the scars from that. But as you can see, this is a pretty well put together plane with the roots holding on together, because some planes, with the way they're rooted, this whole 4th or 5th engine here would be off. But the plane is holding together and looking pretty well. So there is 1 Sky Dragon left, and it does seem like he is crashing into the ocean apart. I do not remember seeing that happening. Oh, never mind. There is 1 Sky Dragon floating with no wings in the sky. But it does seem like it is over for him, as he has no engines, so we're going to stop it there. The Enforcers will be moving on to the finale, or the finals, I should say, against, well, whoever wins this next semifinals match. See you there. On to the second semifinal. Today we have 2 very interesting planes going against each other. Once again, we have the SF-7K from Luminous and the Kerbin Fighter Diamond from BR-60066. So let's get them straight into the air. You've seen them before, you know what they look like, you know how they fly. Let's see how they compete against each other. Because the Carbon Fighter Diamonds are using Panther engines instead of the more powerful Saturn engines, they are going to take off slower than the SF7Ks. However, they are way less susceptible to Sidewinder, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out when it comes to battle. As you can see, it has a I love this curve right here. It's just an overall great looking plane. It reminds me of the angled engines, angled intakes from the Sphere jets. The SF7K is rocketing away now in a very nice formation. Once again, a great screenshot there. It's time to switch back to the pod so as to not give any team an advantage, and we will see how the missiles pan out. Nearing their competition distance of 8 kilometers, they will soon turn around. And there we go, competition starting. Let's see who can get their missiles off first, and it seems like the SF7Ks have gotten their missiles off well before the Carbon Fighters, but the Carbon Fighters do fire back, only once, but they still do fire back. Both sides popping chaff now. The SF7Ks, while they do have less missiles coming towards them, they are much more susceptible to the Sidewinders. Let's see how this missile battle, first volley, pans out. It seems like no hits from either side, and both sides are launching off more missiles. It's time to zoom in now and see how these fighters are doing individually. We have the Carbon Fighters coming in at a relatively slow speed, but they are doing pretty well. The SF7Ks, I assume, are also going pretty slow, looping around. But never mind, we actually have one that's rocketing in near the speed of sound, going into gun range, but he does have a Sidewinder coming towards him, so he moves to evade. This SF7K is very close to the ground. I'm a bit curious as to why they get so close, but you'd think they'd be more towards their 2,000 kilometer or 1,500 kilometer limit. But there are guns coming in now to one of the SF7Ks. Let's see how that pans out. Very close, even though he does manage to fire off another Sidewinder. It seems that it has distracted his enemy from getting him off his tail, and another Sidewinder whizzes by him. This is quite an interesting battle so far. Let's see how this comes down when it comes into gun range. The SF7K is launching off of their last Sidewinder volley, but it seems that it is easily dodged by the lightweight. Oh wait, I must have missed it. A Carbon Fighter Diamond has gone down, presumably to missile fire, unless I missed it. Yeah, that does look like it is a missile kill over there. And another SF7K is getting lit up down there, even though he is going very fast, so it doesn't seem like the Carbon Fighters will be able to catch up. This Carbon Fighter is going very slow down there, leaving himself open. This does not look like it's good, as the SF7K is racing in, lighting him up. But if he keeps going slow as he is, the Carbon Fighter might be able to get behind the SF7K here, but he does expose his broadside. And it seems like the SF7K is trying to slow down to keep up, but no, the Carbon Fighter Diamond is getting lit up indeed, and is taking massive hits. And through the debris storm, the SF7K flies through. That is now... Oh wow, I didn't even see this one. This one lost an engine, but he's still in the fight as he still has his engines. But I don't think he is long for this world, as the SF7K smashes into the ground down there. And he does seem like he's getting lit up now. We will see how long he can survive in the air with his last engine. Once this engine is gone, and it will be the end of the line for him. He still has an opportunity to light up his enemy, so I am going to leave this to be. Even though it does seem pretty out of control, he still doesn't have an engine left, so I'm not going to give up on him just yet. But no, he is getting lit up now, and this does seem like it is the end of the line, and indeed it is. So with that, the SF7K will be facing the Enforcer in the finals of Episode 1. Let's go there now. It's time for the finale! We have two amazing planes that have been able to showcase themselves in both missile and gun combat. So let us see who is going to be the winner of Episode 1. We have the SF7K from Luminous. A very good plane, a very stealthy plane, can prove quite a good gunfight. And we have the F502 Enforcer from Edgy. two very good planes, one of course having 5 engines, the other having 4. They're both very nimble and very quick. It's going to be interesting to see which one can triumph in this first episode. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All 3 planes now taking off at my mere 30 frames per second or lower, as I get when I have 6 aircraft on this battlefield. And as we can see, both of these planes have very similar takeoff times and very similar climb rates, with of course the Enforcers having a slight advantage with their 5 Saturn engines. The Enforcers have proven to be very good energy fighters, however the SF-7Ks have proven to be very good dogfighters as well as missile evaders with their stealthy design. It's going to be interesting to see which aircraft can triumph in this battle, and the winner will go on to the season finale. There's still quite a bit of time before the pilots reach their designated 8 kilometers. But this is certainly going to be one amazing final of the episode. And with that, the competition starts. And it seems like, yes, the SF-7Ks do manage to get their missiles off, shortly followed by the Enforcers popping their HEVK missiles. These missiles are very powerful as they can just loop around and continue tracking even if they miss their first shot. So it's a very good distraction tool for fighting off. And it seems like these 2 SF-7Ks have broken off from their friend, whereas these 2 have broken off from their friend. So this is going to be a 2v1 and a 2v1 battle. Very interesting to see how it will pan out. Zooming in now to an Enforcer going over the speed of sound like it likes to do. These things have many air intakes, however, if they slow down too much, they can still flame out a few of their engines, as they do have 5 of them. There seems to be 2 distinct battles going on right now. Maybe a 1v1 and a 2v2, I can't really tell. If we zoom out, we might be able to tell. Indeed, it is just 2 3-man battles, so we have an advantage on each side, but who knows who will come out on each one. We have the SF-7K closing in on an Enforcer up here. I'm not sure. Yeah, they still have 2 Sidewinders left, however, they might go in for guns. No, it does seem like he's going to fire off a Sidewinder, which the Enforcers are very vulnerable to, as they have 5 Saturn engines. But this plane, even then, though, they have, I think, what, 16 flare modules? So they can put up a very good fight, and it does look like that Sidewinder is away, but he's in a flat spin. This is not going to be good if that Sidewinder can make a hit, and indeed it does. That Enforcer is all but dead now with only 1 of its 5 engines. It can barely push itself forward. But the other 2 Enforcers are indeed intact and are lighting up other SF-7Ks, but now it is a 2v3, so the Enforcers are down. I think all 3 SF-7Ks are in tip-top shape, ready to light up another Enforcer is what it looks like here. Well, he does go in for guns, but it looks like he's switching to missiles now, but doesn't manage to fire one off before he breaks away. This SF-7K over here, looking to fire off another missile, but having a missile on its tail as well, from an Enforcer behind it. And this one is just flying away into no man's land. Oh, he still has an HEVK missile after him. See, that's quite an advantage that the Enforcers have given themselves. They've now essentially nullified this to a 2v2 because of that. And an SF-7K does launch off a Sidewinder as an Enforcer closes in behind it. But the Enforcer is just too fast, and they are side by side. This is quite an interesting turn of events here. The Enforcer, it does look like he's trying to light up an SF-7K, but the SF-7K is lighting up the Enforcer in front of it. This has been a very weird battle, but it is the finale. It seems like the other SF-7K in the distance is coming back. There's 2 lighting up events going on here. Let's jump to the front. It It seems like no contact has been made since that initial volley. This Enforcer flipping around, leaving this one to go fend off that other SF-7K way in the distance. And this SF-7K coming in now. Oh man, this is it's been a very spread out battle because these HEVK missiles, they are quite powerful. Ooh! Something got lit up down there. I didn't see who it was. It seems like an Enforcer has just lit up an SF-7K. Indeed it has been, but the SF-7K is not dead, still flying with one wing. And it does seem to have another HEVK missile coming after it as it is popping chaff, but it is not looking good. We have these two planes over here split up very far apart. The HEVK missiles have been proven to be very powerful in splitting these aircraft apart and leaving them easy for picking. This Enforcer closing in on the distant SF-7K now, lighting him up. Will the SF-7K be able to turn around and finish it off? It does seem they are going head to head now. Nope, the SF-7K is chickening out. It seems like that other SF-7K has indeed hit the ground. They need to get their act together. Ooh! Oh, that was the damaged Enforcer that hit the ground. It seems to be that these two are fending off each other, and then there's reinforcements coming in over here. The Enforcer will make it first. So it is not looking good for the SF-7Ks, but who knows, they might be able to turn this around, quite literally. The SF-7K now getting lit up by the Enforcer. Will they be able to dodge, or will they be able to, or will the Enforcer take the kill? Ooh, narrowly misses the bullets. The Enforcer, the SF-7K is flipping around. And he is getting lit up from the other side, but he lights up! Oh, he just barely misses the other Enforcer, and also gets barely missed by more missiles. The second SF-7K is coming in now, very far away from the original battlefield. SF-7K is not looking good with fire coming from multiple directions, but he does have reinforcements coming into this second Enforcer here. The SF-7K has gotten on the tail, and it seems to be firing a Sidewinder missile. This could be very good with the... Oh, never mind, he is lighting him up. Ooh, and he's on a flat spin, and the Enforcer gets lit up, leaving only what seems to be 2 engines left. This is not looking good for the Enforcers. Oh, never mind, all 5 engines are intact, but they did have a flame out. The wings are very damaged, though. This looks very similar to the damage we saw in the semifinals. This Enforcer is lighting up an SF-7K. Their GAU-8s, while very powerful, can be very inaccurate. And it seems like no contact has been... Oh, never mind! Where was that damage taking place? I have no idea. Oh, never mind. I think I can tell. Oh my god. He's got a tail. Actually, never mind. That's not a tail. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch away from that. The SF-7K lighting up the Enforcer that's on his friend, and he does manage to successfully light him up, getting quite a few hits on with his 20mm Vulcan. It seems that both both Enforcers are damaged, but this Enforcer is not giving up. Seems to be launching off one last HEVK missile. This Enforcer, while damaged, is still flying and is still capable of launching off quite a few guns and missiles after this flat spinning Enforcer. This has been quite the final battle. It does seem like this Enforcer is heading straight for the ground, though. With all five of his engines, it seems to be able to use the gimbal to force itself off the ground. This Enforcer is mostly intact, but it is losing quite a few of its bottom pieces, so it's not nearly as stable as it originally was. GAU-8 lighting up once again, but at such a distance, it doesn't seem like it's going to be able to do much. And it seems like he has made contact with the SF-7K. And the SF-7K is all but dead with none of its engines left. This is now effectively a 1v2. Quite a turnaround from the Enforcers, and quite a turnaround from the SF-7Ks. This has been quite a flip-flopped battle. However, the SF-7K now has an HEVK missile at it, but it has hit the ground, so he is free. This is now a 2v1, but both planes are damaged. It's going to be interesting to see how the SF-7K can pull out. Flipping around now. Will he switch to missiles or guns? Best bet would probably be missiles, as they are very susceptible to it. As he is just out of gun range, it does make the most sense. That SF-7K does seem to be gliding towards the ground very gently, still providing a distraction. It does seem like he's going to light him up with missiles. Will he manage to get the shot off? Nope. Not yet. He is spinning around quite oddly. He is in gun range. Nope, he decides to break away. Not a very smart move. This Enforcer over here does seem to have a very hard time maintaining itself. And this one is enclosing now on the landed SF-7K. This is the SF-7K's time to shine. He does seem to be trying again for another Sidewinder shot. Fire the damn missile! I have no idea what that sound is. Switching between... Oh, he does decide to go to guns and light him up. The SF-7Ks are very low on ammunition, or very low on fuel, sorry. Only a few minutes of fuel left. It's going to be interesting to see how if it can fend off with so little fuel. He has to get this shot off very soon, otherwise he won't be able to fend off and he'll end up dead. But it seems like this Enforcer is spiraling towards the ground, but barely does manage to pull away. I have no idea what's happening with the fuel here. The Enforcer still manages to barely evade. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this to when something interesting happens. It seems that the SF-7K has made contact with the Enforcer, but has not fully destroyed it just yet. This Enforcer has lost another wing. Does not seem as long for this world. The SF-7K is now on its only secondary engines. It has barely any fuel left, but he does seem to destroy that Enforcer. And indeed, it has been destroyed. He now has to fight off the fully intact Enforcer, which is still trying to kill the landed SF-7K. Because it is mostly intact, even though it has no engines. Will he be able to come over and light him up and use that last Sidewinder? We'll find out. I will cut. The SF-7K has run out of fuel just as it entered the range of the Enforcer. This is going to be very interesting to see what the SF-7K can do with no fuel left. He does seem to be heading straight for the ground. Will he be able to pop a missile off and hopefully do some damage? He's going very slow, and with no fuel he can't really do much, leaving the Enforcer to just circle around him. The Enforcer now popping shots. Seems like the SF-7K is going straight for the ground now. But no, he tries to pop off one last missile, but he just can't. The Enforcer basically toying with him now. This battle just won't end. This is quite an impressive glide speed. It's quite amazing how the Enforcer hasn't been able to hit the SF-7K yet. But I spoke too soon. Alright, and with that, I'm just going to give it to the Enforcers, because there is still one flying, whereas this one is out of fuel on the ground and functionally dead. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to Luminous, and thank you to everyone that has participated in this first Fighter Jet Showdown. Episode 2 will probably be out next week, and congratulations to Edgy for winning this first episode of Fighter Jet Showdown Season 5.